Witch's Tale. The fascination of the eerie, weird, blood-chilling tales told by old Nancy, the Witch of Salem, and Satan, her wise black cat. They are waiting for you, now.
Year-old I be today, yes, sir, 108-year-old. Well, Satan, tell these folks to douse their lights. That's it. Make it nice and dark and cheerful while you listen to our soothing little bedtime stories. Draw up to the fire and gaze into the embers. Gaze into them deep. And soon you'll see a boat that's coasting off the shores of the islands a highway. Oh, highway. Where the flowers are finest perfume and weeds are rankest poison. Where there's happiness and life and sunshine. And where there's darkness, fear and death. Highway. That's the setting for our pretty tale we calls the King Shark God. The King Shark God.
Roy, just look at this bay we're coming into. That beach, there's mountains in the distance. Get out of that chair and look.
Oh, I'm more comfortable sitting here within reach of a drink. To me, that bay is just Mayokona Harbor, where we'll get off this boat and drive to Kohala. I've lived in these islands for 3 long years, you know.
Oh, if you spent a lifetime here, I wouldn't understand how you can be so bored. Why, this is God's country.
10 to 1, you'll be fed up with the place before I was. Your capacity for enjoyment is handicapped by a lot of morals, while I, having no morals, have managed to keep a degree of interest. Thanks to the very pretty women here. Women and pineapples are 2 products for which Hawaii can't be beaten.
So I understand.
You'll be chump enough to only appreciate the pineapples. Lord, how time changes a fella. When you used to play hooky from school back in San Francisco, who'd ever have dreamt that you'd become a missionary? When I saw you step off the boat in Honolulu wearing a black suit and with a Bible sticking from your pocket, I nearly dropped dead.
Well, I thought the clerical black would probably impress you with my new dignity, so wore it purposely and nearly roasted.
I noticed you lost no time in changing to white when we reached the hotel. Now you look like a human being again.
Thanks.
You know, I wonder if becoming a preacher hasn't just been a change of clothes for you. I wonder if you're not still a rowdy underneath.
Well, what about you? Ever since we had our reunion 3 days ago, you tried to shock me with tales of your gambling and drinking and your love affairs. I wonder if that's not mostly pose, and if you're not still the good little boy you used to be in school.
No, I'm living now as I always wanted to live. I simply lack the nerve to be myself back home where people knew me. Out here, nothing matters, but to have a good time, and the easiest way you can get it. I wonder how long it'll take those islands to bring out your real self, as they brought out mine.
I think I've discovered my real self.
I wonder. When we were kids, you used to like the girls. Wait till we get to Kohala, and you get an eyeful of my Irene. I'll bet she makes you forget you came here to save souls.
Your Irene?
Oh, no, don't prepare to get shocked. Everything's perfectly proper. Matter of fact, this girl's so straight-laced, I'm thinking of making her Mrs. Cole.
But you're planning to be married?
Mm-hmm. They asked you to tie the knot for us.
You never mentioned this before. Oh, Roy, you were only fooling when you told me those wild tales of your dissipations. You were just trying to get my goat. Why didn't you tell me you were engaged?
Because I just made up my mind over this last bottle of rum. And I wasn't kidding about the other girls. This one simply got me going, so I'll do anything to get her. When I go back to the States, divorce won't be much trouble.
You mean you'd marry with divorce already in your mind?
You wouldn't expect me to go back to California married to a half-caste.
A half-caste?
Mm-hmm. But you'd never guess it in a million years to meet her. She's blonde as you are, speaks English like a Vassar scholar, and her name's Irene McGlennon. Yet her mother's a full-blooded Kanaka.
And you'd wreck her life by...
I'd only do what the average white man does when he's stuck in a backwoods native village for any length of time. Those who stay there, stay married. Those who go home alone. That's how Irene's father went. Only he'd been better off if he hadn't. He fell overboard before his ship cleared Maracona Harbor. And a shark got him. They say old Kalima, that's Irene's mother, put a curse on him. The natives believe in such punk curses here. That means we'll dock in a few minutes. Come on, let's get our baggage together.
Yes, I'm anxious to get ashore, and to Kohala.
Hey, you wouldn't tell Irene what I just said.
Do you think I'd allow you to harm anyone so horribly when it's in my power to prevent it? The moment we reach Kohala, I'm calling on that girl.
Hey, Whit, come back here. Whit,
Take your hands away. Let me go.
No, you gotta listen. I didn't mean a word I said. It was a joke, Whit, just a joke.
A joke?
Yes, to get your goat, to shock you. And you swallowed every word. I was only kidding. I'm mad about that girl. Look, I'm so much in love that I even carry a lock of her hair in my watch. And she keeps a lock of mine about her. I wouldn't do her any harm. I swear I was only kidding.
You could kid as you did about someone you really care for.
It was in rotten taste, I know. I wanted to shock you. Oh, I've been drinking too much today. The liquor made me forget I was going too far. You won't say anything to Irene when you meet her? Promise you won't.
I'm not sure you're telling me the truth, Roy.
Yes, I am honest. Like we used to say as kids, cross my heart and hope to die.
All right, I believe you.
I knew you would.
Oh, what are they shouting about back there?
Oh, guess they've sighted a shark.
Oh, where? I've never seen one.
Everyone's running toward the stern. If you want to look, come on.
Yes. I see it.
Yeah, and it's a big one, a man-eater. What the natives call a man-child.
No, that shark, no man-child. That shark, come who alive.
What did that Kanaka say?
Oh, he corrected me. He said that the fish was no ordinary man-child, but Kamahoalai, the king shark god.
King Shark God.
Some of these dumb Kanakas worship sharks. Still do, I guess. Oh, they're full of crazy superstitions. Say, is that thunder?
Thunder?
Can't you hear it?
I don't hear a thing except those people about us.
Funny. I hear it. Now it's growing louder.
Roy, your face is white as a sheet. What's wrong?
I feel suddenly dizzy. Too much liquor, I suppose.
Well, let me help you to a chair, old man.
Oh, no, I'm all right. You still don't hear any thunder?
No.
Wonder what's the matter with me.
Oh, you better sit down. Come on.
No. I wish that thunder would stop roaring in my head. It's like a voice. A voice that's calling me. Calling from the water. Calling louder. Always louder.
Roy.
It is a voice that's calling. A voice I've got to answer.
Come back here. Roy! Stop that man. He's climbing on the rail.
Stop him!
No. Roy!
I've got to answer!
And that was the last we saw of Roy, Dr. Rainey, or of the huge shark. Just blood and rippling water.
Your introduction to Hawaii hasn't been a very happy one, Mr. Mason.
No, it all seemed so beautiful. And then... Doctor, you saw a lot of Roy during the years he spent here in Kohala. Was the insanity that caused him to jump overboard a sudden thing, or had you noticed indications that his mind was affected?
You think insanity was responsible for Roy's death?
Of course, it's the only explanation. I told you how he acted just before.
He heard thunder that called him, you said?
Yes.
Mr. Mason, did Roy say anything to you about a woman?
Why, he mentioned a number of women.
Yeah, knowing his nature, I've no doubt of that. But did he speak of a particular girl here in Kohala, a half-caste girl named Irene McGlennon?
Yes.
Was he planning to play her some sort of a dirty trick?
Why do you ask that?
Because Irene McGlennon's father jumped off a boat for no apparent reason when he planned to play a dirty trick on Irene's mother. And a shark got him just as one got Roy Caldwell.
Roy told me that story. The coincidence hadn't occurred to me before.
There have been several coincidences connected with the McGlennons. Before Roy, 2 other young white men who were interested in Irene met mysterious deaths in shark-infested waters.
What are you driving at, Doctor?
Mr. Mason, only 160-odd years ago, this land was unknown to white men and what we call civilization. Oh, with help from the Chinese and Japs, we've done a lot to it in a short time. May heaven forgive us. But we haven't yet destroyed all that was here before we came.
I'm afraid I don't understand you.
And you won't until you learn these islands for yourself. I think you're a human being in spite of your black broadcloth. Take an old sinner's advice and keep away from Irene McGlennon.
I'm here in Kohala to preach the gospel, Doctor, not to become interested in any woman.
Stick to those principles and you'll be all right. Otherwise... Do you know what taboo means?
It's a native word that means forbidden.
Exactly. I'm going to tell you what Roy Caldwell knew and didn't heed. This girl's mother is an Hawaiian. She's a priestess of the old gods and the old order which our civilization has only touched. The man she loved gave her cause to hate his race. And the Kanakas say Irene, her daughter, is taboo to white men.
May I say how much I enjoyed your sermon, Mr. Mason?
Miss McGlennon, I'm so glad to see you.
I'm flattered that you remember me. We've only met once before, you know, when you and Dr. Rainey brought me the news about poor Mr. Caldwell.
I hope you've recovered from the terrible shock of that news.
Your inspiring sermons have helped me to forget. I felt as though you talked directly to me from the pulpit.
I have. You haven't been out of my mind a single moment since I met you. I mean, when I've seen you and your mother in church, I hoped I could help you forget poor Roy.
I understand. Well, you haven't met my mother, have you?
No.
Mother, will you come here?
Yes, we come.
This is Mr. Mason, Mother.
How you do?
I'm very happy to know you, Mrs. McGlennon.
My name Kalima.
Mother prefers to be called by her Hawaiian name.
Yeah, Kalima.
I see. Perhaps, Miss McGlennon, you also...
Oh, no. My native name would be a little difficult for strangers to pronounce. It's Kanahaiaweo.
That's such a beautiful name. I like to call you Kanahaiaweo when I cease to be a stranger.
Well, to advance our friendship, won't you visit Mother and me some evening?
I'd love to.
Well, how will this coming Thursday be? You'll have dinner with us?
Thursday will be splendid.
Good, come Thursday.
Thank you, Mrs. McGlennon.
Me Kalima.
Oh, yes, of course. Excuse me.
Now we must be going, Mother. Here comes Dr. Rainey to take Mr. Mason away.
Good morning, Mason. Hello, Irene. Hello, Kalima.
Good morning, Doctor. Goodbye till Thursday, Mr. Mason.
Yeah, till Thursday.
I'll be there early.
What's this about Thursday? You folks inviting the new minister to dinner or something?
Yes, Doctor.
Well, that's great. Nothing like getting a free feed when you can. If you and your mother don't mind, Irene, I'll come along too and have one.
Why? We shall be delighted to have you, of course.
I knew you'd say that. Glad you made it Thursday, though. That's my only free evening this week.
We shall expect you both. Come, Mother.
Goodbye, Irene. Aloha, Kalima.
Hello.
Goodbye.
Till we meet again, Mr. Mason.
Very beautiful girl, Irene, isn't she?
What? I really hadn't noticed.
Oh, you're staring after her like a lost sheep because she and her mother have become such good parishioners of yours, I suppose. That's right, my boy. Always keep an eye on the customers.
I still don't...
I don't like this sudden religious fervor. Old Kalima's especially. You're the only unattached white man in Kohala now. It almost looks as though she wished you to become interested in Irene.
Oh, that's nonsense. The same kind of nonsense you tried to make me believe about Roy Caldwell's death. Please drop the subject, Doctor. You've harped on it ever since the day I met you.
And my harping hasn't done a bit of good.
Well, did you expect to convince me with your wild theory that old Hawaiian woman has caused 4 men to be killed by sharks? If it were possible for her to have such an impossible power, do you think I'd believe she or her daughter would harm anyone after I watched them in church every Sunday for a month? Anyone so sincere in their worship of God as those 2 women can have no treachery inside their hearts for men.
So you think they and the other natives in your congregation really worship our white God? Really believe as you do?
I don't think, Doctor. I'm positive.
All right, I'll say no more. Irene and her mother must have forgotten something. They're coming back here.
Oh, Mr. Mason, when we invited you for dinner, Mother and I made a very foolish mistake. Thursday is the one evening of the week we shall not be free. Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Dr. Rainey. You said you were engaged on every other night, didn't you?
Yes.
Will you come on Wednesday, Mr. Mason?
Well, that will suit me splendidly.
Now, goodbye again, Mr. Mason, and Dr. Rainey.
Goodbye, Miss McGlennon.
Hello.
Goodbye, Mr. Kalima.
Goodbye. Sorry I'm so busy Wednesday.
The doctor knows we don't want him, Mother.
He no matter. The young Heoli already look at you with longing eyes.
But his eyes look differently than other men's have looked. His eyes seem good.
White men never good. I teach you that.
Yes, they're all bad like my father.
I'm like your father and the others. We give this man to Kamaholai.
Yes, to Kamaholai, the king shark god.
Good night, Kanahaiaweo.
It's time I taught you to say aloha. Don't you like our custom of using the same word for parting as we do for greeting? It seems to make the parting shorter.
Nothing can make separation from you seem short.
You see me every evening.
That's not enough. It's nearly 2 months since I came first to call on you, yet it seems like yesterday. I never dreamed anyone could know such happiness as I found with you.
I'm glad you've been happy. Now I must go in.
No, don't go yet. There's something I want to tell you. Something I wanted to say for weeks, but lacked the courage to put it into words. Now.
You must tell me another time. My mother is waiting.
No, now I've started. I must finish before I lose my nerve again. Irene, I love you.
Don't say such things.
You don't care for me?
Don't ask me questions now. Come tomorrow night and we'll talk. Now I must go.
I won't let you go. You do care for me. I see it in your eyes. Oh, Irene, say you'll be my wife. Say that you'll marry me.
Tomorrow. I must go in.
Irene.
Aloha.
Why do you weep?
Oh, Mother, I thought you'd gone to bed.
Why do you weep?
No reason. Just because I'm tired, I guess.
Did you do what I say tonight?
No, not yet. Oh, you must give me time.
I have already given you time. Too much time. Come, I will. Have you fall in love with this white man that you must kill?
Oh, Mother.
Ah, you fall in love with this white man?
No.
That is well. It would be danger for one taboo. Very danger for a priestess of Kamaolai. There must be no more delay. The king shortcut has found it long. Tomorrow we must have another sacrifice.
Oh, tomorrow is so soon.
Tomorrow is very late.
Tomorrow.
Darling, I won't let you stop me as you did last night. I love you. I want you for my wife.
Oh, don't say such things. And don't look at me like that.
My dear.
Don't look at me like that, I say. Can't you realize that I'm a half-caste? My hair's as yellow as yours. My skin's white. But I'm a brown savage underneath. A brown savage. Why don't you gaze at me as all others of my father's race have done? As an inferior, a female animal. As something they can take and break. Don't look at me gently. Don't be different from the rest. Oh, I want to hate you.
You poor dear. I don't care what your blood is. I only know I love you.
You don't know what you're saying. You must go away and never see me again.
You don't want me to go away. You love me.
Yes, I love you.
That's all that matters.
Then in the morning, you must take me to Honolulu. We'll be married there and take the first steamer for San Francisco.
You mean leave Kohala?
Yes, and Hawaii forever.
Forever?
It's our only safety, yours and mine.
Safety?
Oh, don't question. Just do as I ask. Please. Oh, please.
I don't understand, but I'll do anything you wish.
I'll try to explain later. Now take me home. I'll meet you at the dock tomorrow at 10. A boat's leaving for the mainland then. But you must tell no one of our plan.
You mean except your mother?
No, my mother least of all.
You don't want your mother to know?
My daughter, Joe.
Mother!
Mrs. McGlennon.
Me, Kalima.
You're hiding behind those palm trees, listening.
It is a warm night. I walk on beach. You come talk. I hear.
Oh.
Mr. Mason, my daughter make joke to you. She no want to leave Kohala. But tomorrow, you go boat to Honolulu. Bring back wedding ring from there. Then you she marry here.
Mother, you mean you'll let us be married?
I'll let. After Mr. Mason come back Honolulu. But Mr. Mason be away from you all day on trip. You'll be less lonely for him. Before he go, you take one lock your future husband hair.
A lock of my hair?
No. Don't let her have a single hair from your head. Don't let anyone have one.
Then I will.
I won't let you.
You will take.
No.
You haka kahuna kamahoalai.
Kamahoalai.
Irene. Kalima. I don't understand.
My mother has just reminded me of an old Hawaiian belief that the soul and life dwells equally in all parts of the body. If you leave a lock of your hair with me, it will be as though I had you with me tomorrow, even though you're away in Honolulu.
I've heard about that nation. I'd be glad to give you a lock of my hair, Irene. It's a rather pretty idea for people who are in love. But I really can't approve of any pagan superstition about it.
I cut the hair.
No, I cut it. Cut it carefully.
Now, you have.
And I shall keep it safe.
Yeah, well, I say. For this lock of white man's hair, it means a white man's life.
I won't go with you any further. I won't go where that monster shark is swimming.
Come.
No. Oh, Mother, please.
Come. Come, Alonzo Cole.
I hear his voice. I go to him. Oh, but don't make me do this thing tonight. Oh, don't.
We'll stand by his sacred water now. Until we hear. Oi, kohana lai akua. Oi, kamaho lai akua. Look, he come.
Oh, I can't look at him swimming there.
He's in. Kamaho lai hungry. You know our food he like for long.
You can't make me give him this man's life. He's not like other white men. This one is good.
No white man good. Kamaho lai hungry. Give.
No, I will not give this white man's life.
You will not give life. You only give lock of hair to God in water.
No, Mother, please.
Quick, come home, lie, speak. He tire of weight.
I won't give it to him. I don't believe any more he is a god. He's just a monster savage shark. That's all you are, a savage shark.
Come away.
I won't be frightened. The voice of a god's not speaking. That's only natural thunder. You, my mother, have taught me to fear this thing. You made me his priestess when I was a baby. Taught me his evil worship because my father had left you and you wanted revenge on his race. But I'm of my father's blood as well as yours. I don't believe in your shark god anymore. I don't believe.
If you do not believe, what harm can lock of hair in water do?
I've believed so long.
Yeah, and will believe until you die. Give lock of hair.
No, I'd help you send other men to death. But this beast can't have the one I love.
You give King Shark good lock of hair. Or I kill your white man with knife.
Mother!
Give!
Here, Mother. I give you a lock of hair to give your God. A lock of hair. A life.
Yellow hair, white man's hair. I give Kamaho life. I throw it in the water. As you take the pot, so take the whole. As you take the hair, so take the life. Come on, lie, take.
Oh, have pity. Have pity.
I'll buy the ring the moment I land in Honolulu, darling. And you'll be waiting here at the dock when my boat returns from there tomorrow. Then I've arranged with Mr. Evans to perform the ceremony. Irene, why are you so silent this morning? Aren't you feeling well?
I'm all right.
My daughter will wait you here by sea tomorrow.
I'll depend on you to see that she does, Mrs. Kalima. Oh, they're getting ready to haul up the gangplank. I must go aboard. Aloha, dear. You said that sort of goodbye made separation seem shorter. But if you really believe that heathen notion about the lock of hair, part of me is staying here with you.
Yes, and I have kept it safe. I have it here.
Uh-huh.
All aboard, all of the tank.
I must go. Aloha, dear. Aloha, Kalima.
Aloha.
Kana will. Where you get the lock of hair? It is that white man.
Yes, my hair is yellow too. It was mine you gave to the king shark god.
Your hair. I give my daughter life, Kamaho alive.
Yes, you gave him my life, and now he comes to claim the sacrifice you pledged him. Aloha, I go to pay your debt of hate.
My daughter come back. Kanaha will.
Irene, hurry back.
Keep hurrying on the dock.
Irene! Ow!
The shot!
Irene, my darling.
My daughter, my Kanaha will. Oh, my Kanaha will.
You folks come see me next week on my birthday, and we'll have another pretty yarn to spin ye.